Many miles from here, past all the hustle and bustle of your town, past the mountains and hills, across the rivers and through the forest, there is a meadow. A lush, viridescent meadow that shines in the light of the moon. Scattered hills make up the landscape, and a tall and mighty wood stands at the edge of it, offering both protection from the outside world and igniting curiosity of it. In this meadow are several divots and burrows housing a large and united warren of bunnies. This is Mount Olive, a paradise if ever there was one for rabbits. Safety from predators, bounteous food, and unified through a common purpose. Each bunny has a job to do, and they all do it well. At night, it is the responsibility of all bunnies to sleep peacefully, so that they may be ready for the next day of activity. They can rest easy knowing that the scouts protect their bodies. They also know that the forest gods watch over their souls. One of those forest gods, though, is growing restless. And this god knows that there is a rabbit in this warren who may be willing to wake with it. Zoop, can you please introduce your character?
Absolutely. So my character's name is Maya Allsees, and she is a so black furred that she shines blue, and just completely head to toe, little paws, everything, that deep black, so black that it shines blue. And she's got a little orange bandana that is used to hold up her little bangs that she's got, and she also has a paw full of mushrooms.
You know, I saw what you all described your characters at, and yet I'm still being like, they're so cute.
They're so cute.
Maya, what is your job in the warren?
My job is the seer, and I happen to be the only seer.
The only seer, and a brand new seer at that, I do believe, yes?
Pretty new, yes.
So, as the seer for the warren, you are privy and open to visions while in a dream state, which you most certainly currently are. While your body knows you to be sleeping, your mind beholds a vision of a small, flickering light, a firefly right between your two eyes.
And she looks at the firefly, kind of can't feel her body. She's floating around. Botu?
Now listen, this is a vision, and I can't tell you if you speak the language of the gods or not, but I will say he flickers affirmatively.
I'm ready. I'm ready for what you need to show me.
He kind of bounces up and down, not completely unlike Tinkerbell, and he escorts what feels like your very soul, like the essence of you, out of your body. I mean, a literal out-of-body experience right now. You start flying over what you know to be Mount Olive. You see the huge green meadow. You see all the different warrens. You see your own den. You see all the lush majesty that this place has been offering you for as long as you've been alive. And it's leading you farther than you've personally ever gone before. It's taking you out of the edge of the warren and leading you to the entrance of the forest. And then it stops.
I perceive to see, is anyone coming out of the forest or going into the forest?
What a great question. Want to make the first roll of the game for me?
Yes.
Make a mysticism roll. And while you do that, I'll explain what that means. So here in Bunnies and Burrows, you have 8 stats, mysticism being one of them, and that, I believe, is your best stat as a seer, yes?
Yes.
So you are going to roll 1d6, and you will add your mysticism modifier.
All right, that is a measly 4, but still good.
It's not bad. It's not bad for what Photo needs you to see. It wasn't a high variant to clear here. So, you are straining your eyes. You're still a fairly young, new seer to all of this. The whole having visions thing isn't something you're completely used to yet, especially not from one of the four main gods of the Warren. What the heck? And what you see is a figure coming out of the forest. You are being shown a slow-walking white rabbit. Very carefully, as if it's trying to nurse a part of itself, just kind of hopping out of the woods and getting closer and closer to you. As it does so, you can't really make out a lot of details about it, except for one. It has piercing red eyes. And then you wake up.
I jerk awake. The mushrooms fall from my paws. Quickly gather one of the blue ones and go running for the forest edge.
Smart thing to do. Let's talk about your warren, shall we? As morning breaks, all rabbits in the warren understand where to go first. Today is a day for instruction and spiritual understanding. A hustle and bustle is heard as the colony wakes and prepares to make way towards the hovel of well-dressed, tousle-headed, your spiritual leader. You, however, are kind of going against the crowd right now. You are working through a sea of other rabbits bumping into people. They're saying things like, hey, and what are you doing? And Den's that way. Go ahead and make a strength roll.
That is also a 4.
This one's going to be a little bit tougher for you. So as you're trying to like fight through to get to the edge, the crowd, you ever been like in a subway in New York trying to like cram into one of those things? And there's just kind of like the wave is pushing against you, and almost involuntarily you feel your body being like crowd surfed into this little sea of rabbits.
No. Oh no. Do I recognize anybody?
Sure. I mean, this is a whole war, and this is practically your family. So, you know, there might be some familiar names here and there. If there's someone you want to call out to, you might see someone like, oh, let's just pick a name out of the NPC column I wrote here. Let's roll a d6 and see who you get. Yeah, you see your friend Marzo Thump.
Marzo, help!
What?
Help!
What?
I need to go that way.
No, you don't. We're going to Well-Dressed.
Woju has spoken to me.
Shut up. You can't just say stuff like that. Hold on.
Oh, you're right.
If you're seeing things already, take it to Well-Dressed first.
Yeah, you're right. I jumped the gun.
Of course I'm right. Gee Louise, seeing fireflies and stuff. Gosh, get over here. He like yanks you out of the crowd and makes you walk next to him.
She looks a little cowed. Pulls her little bandana a little bit further down, covering her eyes a little bit with her bangs.
Sure. Well, you're making your way towards Well-Dressed Den. And this is a great time for every rabbit during the course of the week. People generally look forward to this meeting because Well-Dressed has done a pretty decent job of keeping you all safe, fed, and, you know, feeling important. His doctrines have really changed how a lot of you live your lives, and some of you don't know any better. And as everyone's starting to get ready for the day and the hustle and bustle is going on and noises are going on outside, there's one such rabbit who should be waking up right about now and eager to make preparations for his own worship. Derrick, can you introduce your character?
Yes, I am playing Clumsypaws. Earsworth is a desert cottontail, so kind of like a dusty gray and brown color with a lot of white mixed in. He's got a kind of a little red mohawk almost patch on the back and top of his head, and he wears a small necklace that he found in the meadow one time with a small claw of some animal. It might even be wood, but he's probably not smart enough to know.
I love him immediately.
And he does love his sleep, so I'm sure, you know, he's probably one of the last rabbits that makes it into worship, even though it's important to him. You know, big fella needs his beauty rest.
Oh, this will be fun. You're a sleepy guy. Make an agility check for me.
Okay. Well, that's a 7.
Pretty good. Okay, so you know what? He was starting to sleep in, and then, like, I don't know, the Monday scaries caught him or something, so you jerk awake.
Okay. What was that? Did someone say something? I don't know what's going on.
You hear, like, a knock. Well, I guess a knock, you know, as if you have doors, but, like, someone, like, thumping on, like, the dirt wall of your home, and it's someone being like, Clumsypaws, hurry up!
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Be there in a sec. Yeah, I'll probably like brush myself off a little bit, you know, get rid of the hay and bits of fluff that are stuck to me and start hopping toward the door.
Yeah, perfect. So you start hopping towards the door, you get out of your den, you meet your walking companion. This is Easter Velveteen.
Love Easter.
Easter's your walking companion. This always shows up around this time of day, just to make sure you're awake, because they understand that you're constantly oversleeping. And it's like, wow, I think that's a new record for you. You got out of there fast today.
Yeah, I don't know. You could say that. So, what's up, Easter? What's new with you?
Oh, I mean, nothing much. I've been working with the Mavericks. Just trying to make sure we get all the necessary berries and supplies we need to keep things going. You know, same stuff, different day. How are things at the empath den?
Oh, learning some new ways to heal people or rabbits. learning new ways to heal rabbits.
Right.
It's been pretty good, actually. I mean, I feel like I don't know, there's something in the air. You know, I kind of like look around a little bit. Like there's something in the air, Easter. I can feel change is coming, but I'm not sure what it is.
Weird. I haven't caught any of that. Then again, I'm not really much of a smeller, so
I guess. Did you get those blackberries I love?
I did. I actually, she like reaches into like a little makeshift little pouch she's made out of like twigs and leaves and things of that nature. I don't know, nature stuff, and pulls out like 2 or 3 little blackberries, and it's like, I thought we could share some on the way there.
Oh, Easter, you bad bunny. Cheers.
Oh, a little self-indulgence isn't that terrible every now and again, especially if it harms no one. Plus, I gave the rest to Well-Dress for the harvest, so it's fine, right?
Oh, your secret's safe with me if you keep bringing these things.
Sure. Oh, God, I wasn't considering it much of a secret until just now. Oh, boy. Ooh, she's like patting the back of her neck.
No, it's low-key. Don't, what berries? I don't... like licking the juice off my paws. Well, I don't even know what you're talking about. Let's go.
Sure. All right, we'll just start heading over there. Gosh, I hope we get decent seats this time. I'm not used to you being up this early. We might actually be able to hear him this time.
If we don't, you can always hop on my shoulders like you do. It's no big deal.
Oh, perfect. I love doing that. So the two of you start making your way towards the den. A polite cluster of rabbits make their way into the den of worship. Some rabbits have opted to adorn themselves with various cast-off items they found, like a bandana or a necklace that looks cool. And they found these while collecting food, or maybe a gust of wind may have blown it into the warren. In other cultures, you may call this their Sunday best. The nest hangs on the every word of their spiritual leader, well-dressed, tousle-headed, the rabbit who oversaw the bounty they enjoy, the one who taught them of the ways of the forest gods, and of course the one who introduced you all to the concept of the farm. A final destination for rabbits who lived a good and thoughtful life. Standing at the entrance of the den is Well-Dressed's right hand, humbly greeting each rabbit as they enter. Sadie, who do we see greeting the masses this morning?
We see Clary. Clary is a fairly young adult white rabbit whose fur is dusty gray from getting into messes. She has a blue bandana plaid on her head and leaves tucked into her fur as decoration. Good morning! Good morning!
Good morning!
Sophia!
Hi, we're doing great.
So good
Thank
to
you for
see
asking. Good to see
Oh my
you. Always a
gosh.
pleasure,
Another
Clary.
day. It's so nice.
All these rabbits keep filing in, and you notice one that kind of has a more sullen expression on this morning, kind of like looking down at their feet as they walk in. You recognize this rabbit. This is Hazel Sandalwood.
Hazel, what's that look
Oh.
on your face for?
Oh, sorry, Clary. I'll cheer up before I can get in there. Maybe something will be said that'll help me. I was just thinking about old times, nothing serious.
Okay, you know what? How about I tell you something that I saw? It's gotta be 2 winters ago now. So you know how the wind will catch on the snow and it'll pill up into these little balls of snow, right?
Yeah.
So I saw some snow babies. Have you ever
Oh.
seen a snow baby?
It's been a long time. It's been a very long time.
Sometimes the wind will catch the snow and it'll pill up into these little balls and snow babies are born. And they're like these little bitty snow bunny rabbits and they just go hopping around.
They look just like him too. It's uncanny.
You know what? Most people don't believe me when I tell them about the snow babies, but they're not like most people, Hazel.
No. I guess I'm a little bit older than the rest of you. I've lived a life before I got here, and make a charisma roll there for me, Clary.
9.
Perfect. This story, for whatever reason, kind of like cracks Hazel's veneer a little bit. He kind of looks up at you and he goes, "You know, I used to be in charge of a warren, and I was just thinking about that today for some reason, and I was kind of feeling down about how that all shook out, but getting to talk to you and reminisce about snow babies and just kind of seeing all the other rabbits around, it kind of reminds me why I came here in the first place. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Always glad to help.
I appreciate it." And Hazel kind of just makes his way past you there a little bit. Coming up next, you see your brand new seer being dragged along by Marzo Thump up to the head of the den.
Good morning.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Clary.
Yeah.
Can you get me in to see Well Dressed?
Ooh. You want to talk to Wally? Why? What's going on?
Marzo's like, "What are you doing? Not now!"
I just wanted to tell him how good he looks today.
Absolutely. You know, when you first started talking, I was a little bit worried that you were gonna kind of interrupt, you know, his whole speech and everything. And you know how he likes to have his order and, you know, do everything the way it's supposed to be. But you know what? I'm sure it won't hurt any
I
to
saw
we'll
a
squeeze
vision
in and
of how good he looks.
Marzo's eyes are bugging right now, like,
of how well he's doing. Oh, okay. You know what? I think he will love to hear that. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
So you rush them in. They find their seats rather quickly. Clumsypaw, you and Easter are now coming up there. Some reason the greeter's not at their post, but hey, you know, nothing you're too unaccustomed to, because sometimes
Oh man, are we late again?
I thought we were on time. I thought we were doing good. Okay, let's just get in there and just try to find any spot quickly. If Clary's not there, we messed up.
Excuse me. Yep. Pardon me.
It's all right. Sorry. Scooching past. You all take your positions, and well-dressed, tousle-headed stands at the head of like a comically small tree stump. It's like if a tree hadn't finished growing yet and someone still cut it down, just big enough for a rabbit to stand in front of it. And you see a pitch black rabbit with a small tuft of white right under his chin. Standing in front of you. He wears what I could kind of equate to as a sun hat, but not really a sun hat. It's kind of like strung together with like discarded chip wrappers and little wirings that he may have found on his travels. And he kind of just like places his two little paws on top of the stump. He places a little tiny piece of parchment on there, and he addresses the congregation. And he says, "Thank you for joining us today, friends. We've had another wonderful week on Mount Olive. You all have my gratitude for continuing to make our warren function. Today I speak to you again on the gods of the forest and how we are their stewards. I don't know if anyone felt the presence of Fotu, the firebug, last night, but our warren was blessed with its guiding light and those who he calls his followers. The forest gods, Fotu the firebug, Yuka the bear, Answer the goose, and Zephyr the rabbit, graciously watch us from the sanctity of the forest. They have instructed us not to venture into their domain, but instead to build our places in honor of them. We tend to the needy here. We find and support animals who require it. We watch over each other. We bring in the hungry, the shamed, and the desperate. Your special skills and God-given abilities were decided before you came to be, and you must honor the wishes of the forest gods by doing that job as best you can. In exchange for being faithful stewards, we will be given the farm, a reward promised to us specifically by Zephyr, an eternal rest for all rabbits free of toil and labor. All the needs of your souls are met, and I hope and pray we all reach that goal."
I think the farm god is probably a little bit different, don't you think? What do you think? I bet it's more exciting than that.
This is whispering during the sermon.
Yeah, there's a little bit of whispering.
Absolutely.
Clumsypaws, you're like right behind these two too, so let's see. There's not really much of a stealth check in for whispering in Bunnies and
Clary
Burrows,
is
but...
not trying to be stealthy. Let's be real. She is unaware of how not stealthy she is here.
Well, I think more than that, because I haven't been paying attention. I've been looking outside to see if I can see our visitor. So I'm so distracted. And also, when Well-Dressed mentioned Fotu, I looked at Marzo. I looked at Marzo like, is this the time to speak? And Marzo was like, mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Not in front of everyone.
So Maya's like, what was that, Clary?
The farm. I bet it's way more exciting than that.
Have I ever had any visions of the farm?
You have not. I will say you've been taught about the farm your whole life. You grew up believing and being taught this whole thing, but you are still a recent seer. Safe to say that your visitation by Fotu, if not your first, one of your very early visions.
And I kind of look mischievous and get a little bit closer to Clary and say, I know someone to ask about the farm.
Yeah. Okay.
And she puts her paw to her lips.
Okay, now I'm gonna make you make an intelligence roll.
Okay, I do clasp my paws to my mouth very visibly, just like, oh.
Yeah, can you pipe down? I'm trying to listen back here.
Marzo turns around like, hey.
I like how you're the one who's reprimanded.
Well, you're friends with Marzo. Oh yeah, so you're cupping your paws together. Make an intelligence check. So intelligence kind of covers situational awareness. So we're gonna call it that.
Okay. That is a 4.
A 4. So I will say that Well-Dressed won't hear you, but the surrounding rabbits might.
Absolutely fair.
Can I also make an intelligence check?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Okay, that is a 7. I kind of put a hand through Clary's and just nestle the two of us closer and quiet.
Yeah, so Clary, your voice is gonna carry a little. Maya,
Mhm.
nope. So people only get one half of this conversation.
Kind of like put our paws like we're in contemplation.
Are we gonna go after the speech? Okay. Okay. Okay.
So well dressed, kind of like shuffles, not papers per se, but like puts like a little leaf that he like wrote rabbit language and like berry juice on. I don't know. Well realized world here, and he says, "Now, on to the news of the Warren. I just want to remind everyone that venturing into the woods without a scout and a fighter is still prohibited. Scouts and fighters are only permitted inside to fulfill what is needed for the Warren. Remember, the woods, while they are the domain of our spiritual protectors, also harbor those who do not share your faith and would seek to harm. Best to leave it to the gods." Also, worth noting is, yes, a new seer for our Warren has been found. Please give her the space she needs to familiarize herself with the role and her visions. No need to bog her down with questions so early.
I shrink just a little bit.
Does he
Because
gesture to Maya, or is it someone else?
Yeah,
Maya?
it's a general gesturing to Maya. Maya has been recently discovered to be a seer rabbit.
I do feel like knowing Welly as well as I do, even if he didn't intend that to be pointed toward myself, I would interpret it that way.
I see you've been to church.
Pastor's kid, I'm a pastor's kid. What more can I say? Like,
He didn't say my name, but I feel very pointed to.
Maya's like patting with a paw, just like comfortingly, and like kind of making like conciliatory motions.
Mhm.
I leave you with this, my friends. Seek peace, do well, and tend the field. Until next week, you all know where to find me. And he kind of steps away from the stump there. Everyone kind of understands that it is now time for them to go do their typical morning routines, which for you, Clary, involves sticking behind and helping out Weldrist. So Marzo and Easter are gonna kind of just like stand up next to you, Maya and Clumsypaws, and both strongly encourage you to return to where your jobs are. And Marzo's like, what do you do as a seer now that you're the seer? Do you just like go and like meditate or something?
Sometimes I like to eat these mushrooms and put my bandana over my eyes and see what I can see. But it looks like that might not even be necessary.
You're so weird. You know that? You are a weird rabbit.
No, she's not. She's cool.
Whoa! sorry, Clary. I didn't realize you were right behind me. I probably shouldn't have.
I'm trying not to get. Well, I'm supposed to be helping Welly, but I want to go see what Allsees is up to.
Okay, this really feels like none of my business now at this point, and I feel like I'm in too deep. I am just gonna go work on some herbs, do my job.
Okay, but if you change your mind, you can.
I know where to find you, Clary.
You knew the previous seer.
Kinda, yeah, a little bit.
When is the appropriate time to tell Well-Dressed?
I don't know, man. I'm an herbalist. I don't deal with that.
Oh, I wish they had better on-the-job training.
Yeah, it kind of stinks that like if a seer like dies, that's the only way to like get a new one. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can ask Well-Dressed. He seems to know stuff. Or Clary. Clary is like training to be whatever Well-Dressed does.
He knows a lot of stuff, but he's kind of boring, you know? And
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything about well-dressed. I'm just gonna go
I
look at
tell
my
him that
flowers.
all the time. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, Clary, it's your soul. I'm just the one of it, okay? Stop involving me.
Well, one day I'm going to go out into the forest and I'm going to meet the forest gods myself.
Absolutely leaving now. Definitely don't want to hear this. I'm gone. Marzo just walks out.
What does Clumsypaws think of all of this?
I've probably actually just left. I think I probably just went to go do my thing. Like, well, yeah, another great well-dressed sermon. Now I gotta go learn how to heal people, heal some of them sick rabbits. I probably just went off and did my thing. I don't think I was paying attention, to be honest.
Hell yeah, I mean, why not? It doesn't sound like it involved you too badly. As everyone kind of files out, real quick, Maya, are you sticking around to speak to Well-dressed, or are you going to the outer edge?
I'm stuck in the doorway because I don't know which way to go.
Well, then in that case, Well-dressed looks up from he was just like putting some things together, and he goes, Maya, did you need something?
I first wanted to let you know how wonderful you look today, and
Thank you both, appreciate it.
As I am new to the position, if I were to have an insight into something, when would be the appropriate time to bring it to you?
Okay. Let's talk about your new position. Clary, can you get 2 seats for us?
Yeah. Got it.
Thank you. So he sits you down and goes, you have a unique position among rabbits. As you know, every warren has a seer. And that is something that is just preordained for our species. There's always one. So while you may have been born with a predisposition for another job, which you did for a while,
Yes.
the time will come where your mystic powers awaken, and that time has come for you. Your predecessor was very muted, was not prone to share their visions. So the answer to your question, when is the appropriate time? Truly, there isn't an appropriate or an inappropriate time. It is as you receive them and what the visions tell you to do, and up to you to interpret them. I am happy to help with the interpretation. I help guide you, paint the story of what you may have been shown, but ultimately that is your responsibility.
This was extremely helpful.
I will say it's uncommon for visions to come while we're awake and working. I've only heard of it in a more dreamlike state. So if there's ever anything you need to talk to me about, I'm here for you.
I appreciate it. Can I do an intelligence? Would it be like a mysticism check to see if I feel like this is the appropriate time?
Mysticism is your sixth sense and gut feeling, so absolutely.
Okay. All right, that is an 8.
Yeah, so that's a very high success for Bunnies and Burrows. So far be it for me to tell you if this is or is not the appropriate time, but I will say for an 8, would that make you excited or nervous?
I'm feeling a little nervous because the thing is that we don't usually see bunnies coming from the forest.
True, you don't normally see that. So if your gut instinct is, I'm nervous to tell Well-dressed about this, that may tell you that now is not the time.
Okay. Again, looking fabulous.
Thank you. I try to make sure I get all the dirt off for these occasions. Gonna see everyone, you know.
Well, I mean, dirt is also a sign of a well-intentioned mind.
Right?
Were you going to say well-dressed?
No, well-intentioned. I was looking at Clary. a well-intentioned
I
rhyme.
think there is a sign of sophistication.
Okay, you two flatter me too much. Maya, go ahead and go practice your mysticism, try to learn how to hone the visions and such. That's your job today.
Okay.
Cool. Clary, how do you think today went?
Well, I think today went very well.
I'm gonna make a quick little intelligence check with well-dressed here. Okay, that is a 5 for him. So, he is just kind of like looking at you. You've been working together for a minute. You've kind of been chosen as like the next big storyteller rabbit. He's kind of training you in the craft. And he's like...
Did he handpick her, or is this like...
It's
just what she's supposed to do? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She was born to be a storyteller rabbit. So there's quite a few of you in the Warren. So some of them are, like Clary was doing earlier, good at recalling vivid memories. Some are good documentarians.
Here's the thing. That story that she told probably wasn't true.
It works.
It was probably just a yarn. Let's be
It
real.
works.
He's very imaginative.
Exactly.
That's a good
right.
point.
Sometimes recalling a vivid memory doesn't have to be a legitimate memory.
Mm-hmm.
So he understands you, is what I'm getting at. And he goes,
Yeah.
Is there anything in the messaging today that maybe you would have done differently?
I think that people need to know that I think people need to imagine the farm and what it could be. And not just things that we know, but like maybe it's different for everybody.
I see what you're saying. And that I won't say it's not a possibility. What we do know is that the desires and needs of the soul are met there, where the labor that we do here isn't as required. It's meant to be restful. Now, restful could mean anything to a lot of rabbits. That could mean if you find delight in the work, surely there may be something for you to do there. The goal is, though, if we do what we're supposed to do now, then we'll get exactly what we desire later.
I understand.
Okay, perfect. Now, if you ever have any doubts or questions, you have to come to me first, right?
Right.
Okay.
If I ever doubt about what I'm supposed to do, I will come to you.
Good. Okay, I need you
Some more
to take...
contest question. Sorry, Greg.
Yeah.
So, well-dressed, is he older than every rabbit in the Warren, and that's why
Yes.
no one remembers a story different than his?
Correct, yes. Except for Hazel Sandalwood, who...
Right, who was at a different Warren, yeah.
Yep.
Got it.
Hazel's a convert, if you will. So... so he's going to hand you the parchment from earlier today, and he's like, as per usual, I need you to head to the scouts and give them the sermon from today. Just hand it to them.
Yes, I can do that.
Perfect. Because as you know, the scouts, they're supposed to be protecting us, and they can't come to the meeting, so...
Right.
Just head on over. There should be 2 of them out there. Just make sure they get the good word.
Okay. I will do that. As I go off, once I am fairly certain that I am out of view, I'm going to glance at the scroll and toss it aside.
Is this something you normally do?
Yes. I am
Cool.
still going to the scouts, but I'm not reading the scroll as written.
Hell yeah. I love that. So you toss it, no one sees, you've done this every week, and you start heading towards the edge of Mount Olive. On the outer edge of Mount Olive are a duo of rabbits who watch the entrance of the forest diligently. These are the scouts. the few and the trusted, the ones who are the line of communication for the entire Warren. They have a direct line to the fighters, to the mavericks, to the empaths, and yes, even well-dressed himself. They ensure that the runners and mavericks who collect food in the woods are safe. They call out danger. They send help when the need for help arises. Clary, as you come up to the scouts, you see two familiar rabbits. One is more of a hare. He's kind of scrappy looking, a bit larger than the normal rabbit. This is Carmillo Moonwood. As for the other one, Jenny, can you introduce us to your character?
Absolutely can. This is Scout St. Jerome. Named as such because her parents, well, let's say they bred like rabbits and they did not have very clever names. They kind of wanted to name their kids what they wanted to be when they growed up. So Scout, she's very smart. She's very observant. She's kind of almost constantly looking at things, trying to figure out how they work. That's why she makes a good scout, because she's always looking at things. And Scout is a kind of black rabbit on the smaller side. She was the runt of her litter, and she has little white markings on her paws, on the tips of her paws, like how we do have fingernails, like if you could say like they're painted white fingernails, but like that's just her paws. And little white markings around her eyes that make it look a little bigger than they actually are.
I love all of them so much. I love all your rabbits.
She is such a goth. She's a reverse goth. And it's amazing.
She's wearing what she likes to call her little Heidi cloak. It's a little blue shawl made of material she does not know where it came from. It's blue jeans. And she's just kind of wearing that about her neck and over her shoulders and just kind of like, you know, holding onto a little stick as she is doing her little scouting job.
And you and Carmillo have been out here all morning.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go to the sermon, obviously, so you've just been keeping an eye on the edge of the forest is your jurisdiction today.
Right.
Nothing yet.
Nothing ever, thankfully.
Yeah, nothing ever. That's right. Same woods, different day.
That branch moved.
Which one?
Good morning.
It was the wind.
Oh, hey, Clary.
Hello, Clary.
Wait, it's almost afternoon, isn't it?
I kind of like look up to see like where the sun kind of is. I like close
They both
one
do,
eye.
just staring at the sun.
Without waiting for a response, I go into a very embellished version of the sermon from that morning. And I finish up with, and we have a new seer. We have a seer. Yeah.
Clary, make a quick charisma roll for me.
6.
6. That was pretty good sermon. Pretty dang good sermon. You know, Carmillo even looks a little bit moved. How does Scout feel about it?
Scout has a nervous tick. Whenever she is not agreeing with something or she feels nervous about information, her right foot thumps really fast. She has the tism, my boys.
Yeah,
little
your
bit.
foot's going nuts.
No, it's not. And she
Yeah,
like immediately
I'm
stops.
literally looking at it right. Oh, it stopped. Okay, well.
Also, make an intelligence check.
So Scout's intelligence is really high. That's a 5 on a d6 plus 2 for a 7.
7 is still
Okay.
pretty good. That's a hard
Yeah,
success.
yeah. So you see, if you look beyond Clary, you see a little bit of a bright orange poking out, surrounded by dark black, almost blue fur
You know who that is.
over like in a corner.
Oh, yeah.
She's like a little bit far away, but she's hiding and taking a peek-see.
She will keep that information to herself.
So then I guess the 3 of you, well, 4 if you count Carmillo, are just hanging out. Sermon's been given. You just hear Carmillo go, okay, so it's a new seer. Gods are good. Farm is good. Is that the well, farm is more good than we think the farm is? Is that what I'm getting at?
I mean, I don't really know, but I'm gonna meet the forest gods one day, and I'm gonna ask them.
It just
Hey,
seems
more
to me
than-
like we're getting a lot of conflicting information about the farm.
Well,
Based
I
on
mean-
your previous reports.
I mean, here's the thing, though. We don't really. We're storytellers, like.
Well, you're a storyteller. We're scouts.
Okay, I mean, me and Welly. We're storytellers, and we know things, but sometimes the things that we know are not the same, or not. They don't make sense. Welly knows something, and I know something, but sometimes those things aren't. They're at odds, even if they're both true. Does that make sense?
Carmilla and scouts like turn to each other and stare. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to be mean. And when it comes to our kind of work, we have to be very...
Make an agility check.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Shit.
You're rolling against me. Make an agility check.
4 plus 2 to 6.
Cool. 6 plus 1 is a 7.
Wait, shit. Hang on.
Carmillo.
Shit, I'm wrong.
What?
It's just a
What?
4.
Cool. You fail harder. Carmillo puts his paw over your mouth when you say, I
Thank you.
don't mean to be mean. Thank you for the message, Clary.
Of course. Have y'all seen Allsees?
Mm-mm.
I move the paw.
Allsees is the new seer, and Allsees saw a vision, and I want to know more.
Oh.
I want to know more, too. What
Yeah,
kind of-
that's
I mean,
interesting.
right? It's like, what could be
Are we allowed to know
a more
Like
interesting
us?
story?
She said there's a vision.
Okay.
I want to know
What-
more.
Okay.
What could be a more interesting story than whatever happens from a vision? You know, like the last seer never told us anything, and I was so
Yeah.
curious. I always asked him all the time, and would he tell me anything? No, never.
Yeah, I always wondered if he like actually had a job. I felt like he was just like kind of faking it. Oh, is that not cool to say? I'm sorry.
No,
I mean,
no,
didn't do
I
anything
agree.
all day.
You're correct. He did not do anything all day. Or night. Or afternoon. Or morning.
We get. Thank you, Scott. We get it.
Oh. And then, like, paw covered again.
Uncover the mouth. I'm sorry. In habit.
Release my lips.
Maya, what are you doing?
I am looking beyond the trio for the white bunny.
Cool. In that case, I need Scout and Clary and Maya to all make intelligence checks.
Yay. 6.
7.
6.
Then you all see it. At the edge of the forest, you see carrying on its back what looks to be a plank of wood, and maybe they were using it as a crutch at one point, but it looks like it's just become more of a burden than anything else. But there's a white rabbit dragging a plank of wood through the dirt, and he doesn't look completely okay. Carmillo sees it and then turns to you, Scout, and goes, "Oh shoot, that's a hurt rabbit. Signal the empaths. I think
Run
it's
for an empath.
Clumsypaws today.
Go. Okay.
Run fast."
I would go.
Probably like lean back in a chair throwing darts at a board or something, in the empath office.
There's like
I love
there's
that
like
so much.
a kid rabbit like rubbing its nose and kind of like.
Yeah, I think you need to get some echinacea root from the herbalists. Yeah, that's probably what I'd do.
Economic. One more time.
Just tell them you got a cold. They'll know what to do. Echinacea.
Okay,
yeah.
you don't have anything for that because you need to. My head is really floating.
Your head is floating too.
Yeah,
Whoa,
it's like I'm really dizzy.
I mean, look, like, okay, Yeah, I could probably do something for you.
Okay, great. So you are an empath, which means your job is the healing and such. You understand how to have a sound mind and a healthy body. Make a Constitution check for me.
That is a 6 total.
Yeah, you know how to help this rabbit. You've got what you need. Tell me what it is.
Okay. I will help this child. So probably
Sorry.
no, I don't know. It makes me seem like I'm a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy.
You're good.
I
You're
want to
good.
heal. I want to heal the other rabbits. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably head over to the wherever we have them stored. I don't know, what would we store them in?
Yeah,
like
you know,
acorn caps or something. Like
exactly. Acorn
foresty?
caps. Think Lion King, like big planty holder type dealios.
Okay.
Kind of organized in piles, like a little dirt mound, like a shelf there that you can just like sort through things on.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably grab some of that echinacea, like I was saying, and maybe some willow bark, and little aspirin action, and grind some up in one of those calling out acorns I was talking about.
Cool.
And dip my little pinky paw in every once in a while and lick it and make sure it's tasting right.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'll grind some up and I'll give him the cap and say, yeah, take this home. Eat a little bit every so often. How do we keep track of time? I don't know.
The sun, I think.
Some in the morning, in the afternoon, and then before you go to bed.
Okay, thank you.
And, you should feel good in a couple days.
Cool. My mom said to give you this, and he hands you one blackberry.
Oh, you should have led with that, my friend. Very nice. Run off now, little tyke. Pat him on the head, but gently.
Perfect. Yeah, you pat him on the head. His ears kind of flop down like little dogs would, and he hops out of the center. And immediately as he exits, Scout barrels in.
Clumsypaws!
Yeah, what's up? Hey, Scout.
There's a hurt white rabbit. There's a hurt white rabbit at the end of the forest. I need you right now. Yesterday. Come on.
Right. Yeah. Hold your horses. Again, I don't know what a rabbit would say.
Listen,
let me just grab my med kit. Probably got like a bunch of acorns on a hemp rope or something. Like my field kit. Some leaves for wrappings and stuff.
No, she's waiting for you. She's like, come on, timescale, come on.
I'm coming, Scout. All right, let's go.
Both of you make a speed check for me.
I got a 5 on the dice, so 6.
Nice.
I rolled a 6.
Cool. You both get there effectively and hurriedly. Not usually a speedy bunch, but the situation called for it. This is the most action the Scouts have seen in a while. Meanwhile, with Carmillo, Maya, and Clary, Carmillo is making his way towards a rabbit.
Maya is going to use, because Maya's speed is up there with, she used to be a runner, so she is like darting around, Carmel, just darting around Carmel and going for the rabbit.
Clary is also following. She's not super fast. She's just nosy as heck.
He looks behind him and sees you both and is like, but there are rules, man. What were you doing? Okay, whatever. We'll help the rabbit. Okay, we'll help the rabbit. Let's get to the rabbit. So you start walking up, and as you get closer to the rabbit, he like looks up from his stick, makes deliberate eye contact with all three of you, and just kind of like starts to lean forward like he's gonna fall over.
Dive underneath and put a paw around to
That'll
be
be
a
an
support.
agility check.
That's a 4.
That's a 4. For what we're doing here, that works. You get under him and you catch him.
Clary, other side.
Okay.
So you two are holding him, and Carmilo's just kind of standing there, paws in the air, like, whatever. And he turns to Clary and says, I need to speak to Well-Dressed. And then he closes his eyes.
Well-dressed. Okay.
At about this moment, Scout and Clumsypaws show up.
You are so slow. Come on.
I'm doing my darndest, Scout. All right, it takes a lot to move this big body. Please.
There you go. When you arrive, you see the the assistant storyteller and the seer holding a collapsed white rabbit.
Oh, Clumsypaws!
I mean, I'd probably go into medicine mode. You know what?
Sure.
What visible? Do I see anything visible that looks wrong with this rabbit?
So when you look on the body of the rabbit, you're not seeing much like injury or anything like that. Nothing's apparent. He's breathing pretty hard, like he's exhausted, and you can see that the plank he's been dragging around looks pretty heavy. So if you had to guess, this dude is just lugging a heavy thing through the forest, and it tuckered him
it's
out.
not like a limp or like something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
No limp, no visible harm.
Being strong rabbit, then I will probably go over and say, listen, pal, it looks like you've come a long way. I didn't hear any of this previously, right? So I'm gonna say,
Correct.
can I carry that for you? What is this? I'm gonna like go try to like pick it up and look at it.
Ooh, cool. Make a strength check.
Ooh, that's a 3.
That's a heavy, heavy plank. It is hard to carry. You can get it out of his grasp for sure. I'm not going to say you can't do that. But when you do, it's like, like when you go to the gym and you haven't been there for a while and you're handed a weight that someone's like, here, do this. And you'll just clunk to the ground. That's kind of what's going on here.
That was me today. No joke.
I know.
Okay. Is there like any like thing special about it? Does it look like a wood I recognize? Is there writing carved into it? Like, what is this thing? What is this wood?
I will say there is writing on it, but you don't recognize the language.
Okay. Is it like a gnarled old branch, or is it like
Yeah,
lumber?
we're talking
That's been cut?
like a shortened fence post.
Okay.
Fence
A
post
farm.
about a little bit taller than a rabbit.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, if I can't read the writing, I'm just gonna start trying to carry this thing and say, okay, yeah, don't worry, I got it the rest of the way. Everyone, you can go along. Unless anyone knows how to read weird scratchies, there's a bunch of weird scratches on this thing. I don't know.
I could take a look, maybe. Do I know how to read weird scratchy? Because it says all I know how to speak is rabbit.
Correct. You can only speak rabbit.
Nope. Then no.
Well, let's start by getting him to the empath's den.
Yeah, yeah, you go on ahead.
Nope.
You
No,
want me to
no,
get that for
no.
you, Clumsypaws? It looks like you're struggling with that a little bit.
Yeah, sure, you hop on the end.
Carmillo hoists it from the back. He rolled a 5 on his strength, and he's like, "Holy, what the hell is this thing?
Hey, oh wait.
What?
Careful.
With what?
That!
This?
Yes! Don't
Why?
break it!
I don't think we can. It's so
important.
heavy.
It's important.
It's gonna break
Okay.
us.
Yeah, it might break us.
Yeah.
But with two of us, it's easier. Our combined strength feels, I don't know, in the ballpark of like 8, so it should be fine.
Yeah, you go on ahead. Make sure he gets something to eat and drink. He'll be fine.
Clary and Maya bring him to the empath den. Scout and Clumsypaws eventually catch up to you, and just kind of, what do you do with the big? Not Scout and Clumsypaws, Carmillo and Clumsypaws. Scout is kind of like shepherding you all through. What do you do with the post once you get there?
I mean, is it so big that it couldn't fit in, or can we like bring it into the burrow?
It'll fit. It's still rabbit size. It's like a little bit taller than a rabbit. It's like it got like slashed, so you can still bring it in, but it is heavy.
Okay. Is Well-Dressed's office, or I don't know, his den off of the main meeting area?
His den's in the center of the warren, and the empath center isn't too far from that. He wanted some of like the vital services things to be kind of near each other, so it's definitely nearby.
Alright, I'll probably just tell Carmelo to like drop it in like the main meeting area that we were all in, because that feels
Okay.
like a spot to put something random.
Sure, yeah, no, absolutely. So you go to Well-Dressed Den, and the door's always open. That's his whole shtick. and you come into the meeting area, and he's just kind of like, he's got like his nose, I want to say in a book per se, but like it looks like he's trying to like, go through some like some documents and some leaves that were saved from like the other storyteller rabbits who are more into documentation, who can read and write and stuff like that. So he's like just combing through some stuff, looking at the position of the sun, and he like hears you thwump the big post in, and he's like, "What is that?"
I don't know. A big stick. Yeah, big stick. Anyway,
You found a big stick and you brought it here?
yeah, there's this guy who wants to talk to you. Yeah. Come on down to the.
What guy?
I didn't ask his name. I'm gonna look at Carmelo. Did you ask his name?
I honestly, I did less than what I should have done if I'm being real.
I like whisper under my breath, Carmelo, this is kind of like your job.
Yeah, I know. I kind of dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah,
I got freaked out because Clary was there, and she's normally like supposed to like.
I mean, hopefully she'll vouch for how good you did your job, right? Anyway, but
Hopefully.
you talk to him. This isn't my job. I'm gonna go see if that old codger's all right.
Sure. Well dressed. There's a white rabbit asking for you, from what I can tell. Oh, okay. Where is the white rabbit? He like points at Clumsypaws. Like, it's going back that way.
Yeah, I told him to take him to our office.
Is he hurt?
No, he looked fine.
Okay. I'll be there soon.
So we get the white rabbit to the empath's office.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have the red eyes that I'm expecting?
His eyes are closed right now, so you'll have to figure out how to wake him up.
I just kind of pull one eye open.
Oh, let's call that a constitution check.
Okay.
Are they like pink, like an albino rabbit, or are they like red, like blood red?
Well, there's a 5.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Derrick. They are red, like a snake's would be, just like a bright red color. And you open up that eye, and you do see the red glow of his eyes, kind of like in your vision.
And I lean to his big ear and I say, "Did you tell Fodu to tell me you're coming?"
One more constitution check.
Ooh. That is a 3.
He does not stir. So I will say that Scout and Clary, you are also here, and you definitely saw the seer whisper into this random rabbit's ear.
Yeah.
What's going on?
He seems to be out of it.
Do we
Mm,
wake him up?
We can try, and we'll both go over to like the empath's tray full of stuff and just like start throwing things into an acorn, and we're like mashing it together.
That's a
Okay.
great idea.
Oh no.
We're just like, we're smelling things and then just throwing them in, and we mash it, and it's like the most foul smelling concoction.
Yeah.
I was going to say, since you're not familiar with the acts of herbalism or empathy, you're going to make a smell roll.
That's a 4.
Okay.
It's a 2.
Nice.
A 4
So-
for Maya, a 2 for Clary, and a 4 for Scout.
That's right.
Yeah, so each of us chooses our own ingredient to add to this mixture. And tell us in this video game, what do we make?
What color is the potion, Grant?
Yeah, I was gonna say, given that your rolls are a 4, and a 2, generally kind of low DVs in this game. You know when you combine things you shouldn't in, like, I don't know, Paper Mario or Breath of the Wild, and it comes out as a mistake? Kind of in that ballpark. It's like an olive green color. It has a bizarre odor to it. You can't imagine this is very healthy.
Does it work as a smelling salt?
Well, let me make a little check. You can try. This is going to be completely dependent on the white rabbit's smell. And that's it, too. I will say you put it under his nose, and like his nose crinkles a little bit, the way that rabbits do. But he still is unstirred, and then Clumsypaws walks in.
And at that point, Maya shrugs and throws it behind her onto Clumsypaws.
What is this smell? Oh.
It's a new potion. You should test it.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Get away from that stuff. Get away from that stuff.
It might be a new medicine.
This is what happens when you put art students in STEM.
Listen, it might cure a disease that hasn't come here yet.
Look, thank you so much for trying to help, but you just back away. I got this.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
make
probably-
that Constitution roll there for me.
We crush up a little ginkgo, give him some energies. Here we go.
I was gonna say, do you have any coffee beans in there?
No coffee probably. Not in these climes where we live. 9.
You know exactly what to do to wake up an exhausted rabbit. So go ahead, describe it for me.
Yeah, so mash up a little bit of ginkgo leaves, give you some energy. And like I said, he probably needs some water. So I'll probably give him one of my blackberries in some water. Try to get him to munch on this stuff.
Yeah, the ginkgo leaves do the trick, and his red eyes open up right away. He kind of shuffles around a little bit, tries to get his bearings. See your paw offering him some berries, and he has
Probably
a little
sit
bit
him
of
down.
a hand. Yeah, you sit him down, get him all nice and comfortable, and he's like, "Thank you. Where is my walking stick?"
Yeah. Is that how you call that thing? That seems like you were walking the stick, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Correct. I was walking the stick. I needed it.
Usually it's you use the stick to help you walk. Anyway,
Well,
yeah.
the stick has something important that I need to show somebody.
I left it in the main hall, the main burrow. And we talked to Well Dressed, and he's on his way, presumably.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
So, how do you know Well Dressed? You two go way back, or what?
We do go way back.
Cool.
My name is Dayspring Divorce.
Dayspring Divorce. Wow, it's Divorce Clan. I haven't heard of it. That's nice.
Oh,
nice name.
not from the Divorce Clan. No, I'm not associated with a Warren.
Oh, you're divorced from other rabbits.
You could say that.
Get it.
In a way.
Oh, okay, cool.
Did you say when Well Dressed would be here?
Oh, we just told him that there was a white rabbit here to see him, and he seemed like he knew you. He was like, "Oh yeah." So I think he should be here soon.
On the way, he starts to stand up, and he can walk just fine, as you might have surmised, and he starts to head towards the exit.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you the way, pal. I'll probably go assist him, and I'll wave the rest of them on, I don't know, shrug and follow us, I guess.
He has a cool stick.
He has analyzed every single word this man has said, and her whole worldview is upside down a little bit. Just there are rabbits that are outside the world. They're not part of both the legal world and any such abortion. What is going on? Help.
Very weird.
Can I rack my brain to try to remember anything else about my vision?
Yeah, go ahead. Make a mysticism roll.
Okay. Oh god, that's a 3.
You remember exactly what was described to you earlier. Fotu brought you to the edge of the forest. You saw a white rabbit with piercing red eyes. You woke up.
Okay. This is important, though. So, gonna keep my eyes on the situation.
Clary's a little bit of an oddball when it comes to beliefs, in just that her beliefs aren't exactly at odds with Welly. They are just a different flavor, shall we say. A little bit of a different font.
I think that's fair. So this is a rabbit that comes from a completely different point of view, which is something you haven't had the opportunity to interact with yet.
Right.
Dayspring heads to the door and walks out, as well dressed, and him are kind of like walking into the center of town, if you will. There's like a big gathering spot, and there's like a little smattering of rabbits here and there, all kind of doing their job. You can hear like some construction going on, some mashing of berries, just everyone trying to do what they need to do for the day. And then everything kind of stops when they see a brand new rabbit with eyes they've never seen before. And
Is there like a high noon song?
Yeah, there's like a tumbleweed goes by. Spaghetti western whistle goes off.
It zooms in on their eyes.
Well dressed, looks Dayspring up and down and goes, "Hello, Dayspring. What brings you to our warren?" And you're all within earshot of this. No need to roll or interpret or anything. You're all going to hear this just fine. Dayspring says to well dressed here that I've come to bring you home. Well dressed. It's been long enough. And as he says that, he kind of clams up. Well dressed is normally a very chatty rabbit, but this is something that's kind of shaking him off guard. And he goes, "Should I tell your warren about the truth, or do you want to do it?" And well dressed says, I've been doing the right thing out here, Dayspring. There's no need to confuse people or do what you were doing out there." And Dayspring turns around and just kind of like looks at everyone. Like, like a very Coliseum arena setting right now. A whole bunch of rabbits have come around now that they see their leader kind of talking to someone new and different. And Dayspring goes, "What has Well-Dressed told you about the farm?"
I know the answer to this.
Yes, you.
The farm. The farm is where we go if we are good rabbits and we do our jobs and we do our jobs well, and then we go on to the farm and we rest. And I think that is individual to each of us. But that's my own bit.
Well, just kind of like shakes his head a little bit when you say the last part. And Dayspring smiles, in the way rabbits do, kind of like a little like smirk here and there under the whiskers. And he goes, "Well, she's almost right, isn't she, Well Dressed? It is an individual thing, you're right. But the farm is real. You can go there today."
I mean, isn't that like the point? Yeah.
No, I mean it's physically there. It's a location you can travel to. I know because I just came from there.
Came back from the dead?
A whole bunch of whispering among the war and similar thoughts and opinions. He came back from the dead? What does he mean? And he stands up taller. He stretches his back out, his little tail firmly under him, and he gets his hands kind of like clasped around his chest, and he goes, "The farm is on the other side of the woods. And your leader, well-dressed, tousle-headed, knows that, because that's where he's from as well."
But if the farm is real and we can go there now without dying, then where would we go once we die?
Well-dressed kind of steps forward and goes, I know this rabbit. I know Dayspring Divorce. He is from a place that I've come from previously. He comes up with, elaborate ideas and misgivings, he's not correct. The farm is not a place that you ought to look for. It is a reward. It is meant to reward those who focused on community and in doing what we were needed to be doing. And Dayspring cuts him off and goes, "Why do all that hard work for nothing, Well-Dressed? The farm is already there. It's accepting all rabbits as we speak. I'm here as a show of good faith, to bring you back, my friend. You and all of your followers should know that all of this labor you're so intent on doing isn't necessary. The farm doesn't require that, nor do rabbits have jobs. You are simply able to be. And might I add, in your beloved forest over there, all paths lead to the farm, so it's not even challenging to find." And again, Well-Dressed speaks up like the forest is dangerous, Dayspring. It's a miracle you got through it at all. Do not come in here with your lies and your misinterpretations of what is true. You haven't even mentioned the forest gods. He's like frantically gesturing at everyone, like, do not heed this person.
If we die and go to the farm, then if we die in the forest, then we go to the farm. I don't see the problem.
How did he know to find you here, Well-Dressed?
I don't know.
How does he know you live here? That's whoa.
You hear Dayspring kind of chuckle, and he's like, "I have been on a quest, going from warren to warren, finding hard-working rabbits who need respite. This one was the next on my journey. I had a feeling it might be Well-Dressed, because he always talked about finding the perfect meadow, always dreamed of creating something out in Mount Olive. And wouldn't you know it, I finally found you."
So what's with the stick? I mean, how does that play into all this?
I am searching for a rabbit who can read it. And I know Well-Dressed can speak the language of man. You see Well-Dressed have like a little look of panic in his eye.
Have I ever heard Well-Dressed talk about man?
Do we even know what man is?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Man is one of the beasts of the forest you've been warned about. A tall, hulking creature, 3 to 4 to 5 rabbits high, maybe even taller. I don't know how big rabbits are, whatever.
Rabbits stretched out.
Yeah, you know.
That's actually really fitting in rabbit lore that they don't know how tall humans are because they've never probably never met
whatever. You know they carry a loud stick, and they can travel with a beast. And he's been telling you since you were kittens, yes, that is what baby rabbits are called, kittens, that the forest holds creatures like this, and they are dangerous.
I mean, why would Well-Dressed want to talk to men? Like, those things are scary.
He can read their language because he grew up on the farm.
The farm has mans?
The farm has several different creatures and languages all living in harmony.
That's not the farm that we've been told about.
I know. I know what Well-Dressed has been wanting you all to believe because of his misguided idea that you should be employed and doing jobs and fulfilling missions given to you by unseen gods. But I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't seem fair that other rabbits don't get to just tell stories.
Well-Dressed raises his paw up and he says, "Scout, can you please escort Dayspring to one of our empty dens? I believe he needs rest and water and to get his head straight. Please do not allow any rabbit past you tonight."
He can...
Can you do that for me?
He can
Yes.
stay in my... He can
No.
stay in my den.
Aya, no. You're not ready yet. I trust Scout.
It's a very dangerous thing for him to do right now. But she will oblige him.
Maya's making eyes at Scout.
Scout would make eyes right back.
Dayspring is escorted and he turns back and goes, I appreciate the hospitality. I won't linger long, but I will say that if anyone wishes to come back with me, the invitation is open, well-dressed. And I hope that you will come back. Oyaris has been asking about you. And he's brought back to the den.
Who now?
Well, just kind of like sighs dramatically and rubs his eyes together, and he's like, I have never been one to want to inhibit you or mislead you or anything of the sort. I'm not going to forbid anyone or change any rules or say what you can and cannot do with Dayspring to force. He is still clearly hurt, and we will take care of him as is our tradition. I will only give you warning that he is a known miscreant. He lies. He manipulates.
Miscreant is not one of the 8 jobs given to bunnies.
He does not subscribe to that same philosophy. If anything, he would make an extraordinary storyteller if he could focus on truth and positive feeling. But instead he chooses to manipulate and remove the society from us. I will be in my den. I would advise you to go about your usual, keep doing what we need to do here. But I understand this is a challenging time, so I will be available. Clary, can you come with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I follow.
Look up in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's the ad read portion of the episode. Hi everyone, it's me, your Game Master, Grant. I'm here to tell you about 3 amazing shows and podcasts that you should be listening to and watching and enjoying, or I'll beat you up. Starting with Wing Women.
Incoming message coming from the 588.
Good morning, recruits. Welcome to hell.
This is basic training. No one's supposed to die.
Wing Women is a semi-historical actual play podcast.
Have you pissed anyone off recently?
No one I can think of. While I run through the bulleted indexed list of people we've pissed off in the last couple of days.
They endure discrimination from their male counterparts.
All of your beds have been carried out of the nurse's station and placed in the middle of the jogging track.
I don't think it was Ivan. He's weak.
Against this bitter setting, our 4 motley heroines gain the chance to experience queer joy, gender euphoria, and equality for the first and perhaps the only time in their lives.
How obvious am I being?
See, I've kind of always thought that there is a level to some of us in this barracks that's visible.
Have you been using the word shenanigans?
I've been experimenting.
Where did you learn that word?
Until the next mission, this is us, signing off.
Wing Women, I guess it was a plane. Huh. Anyway, they are one of my very favorite podcasts right now, and I say that with 0% hyperbole. Come for the cool historical fiction exploration factor of that game. Stay for the funny jokes and the gut-wrenching, heart-pounding moments. Oh my god. Next up, our old pals over at Lizards and Locations.
Oi, Physic, what's going on?
We're here to talk about lizards and locations.
Oh, those blokes just want to do the podcast?
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, they got like campaigns with space. Wait, we're in the space one.
We are, and you're in it, which is amazing.
And you're in it, which makes it perfect.
You're so sweet.
And I got a gunblade, and I even make sandwiches.
Yeah, you do.
So, they got the one with Schools for Fools.
Stop saying that. School is perfectly fine.
Was it the same diff? Oh, the one with dragons!
Which is super spooky, almost like it's a torment test.
No, dragons are scary, but that's the Curse of Strahd one they're working on.
Right.
Oh, and holiday specials.
Which are great.
Yeah. Oh, where can I find them?
You can find them on Twitter and Mastodon and Instagram and Facebook, and if you really want to support them, you can find them on Patreon.
Oh, steamy Patreon.
Stop thinking about your meatball sub.
Fine. Anyways, YouTube on Tuesdays, eh?
Tuesdays on YouTube and Spotify and anywhere else you listen to your podcasts.
That sounds great. Lizards and locations.
Lizards and locations.
Oi, Gavin, just a minute. Big boy, you, do you like this cube? Get off my ship. Flapdragon.
Some of the nicest people in the whole TTRPG space, no big deal. Lizards and Locations streams on Twitch, and they re-upload the audio into a podcast format, so really you have no excuse to not binge their content. None. I checked. Finally, our lovely friend Nick from Tabletop.
My name is Nick Perrin, and I'm an actor, writer, and game master. And on Tabletop, I talk with an expert game master every week to find out the best ways to run amazing games and tell epic stories. Looking to start DMing? Or maybe you've been a game master for a long time and want to spice up your table? Then this podcast is for you. Tabletop is released on Mondays wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, we love Nick over at Tabletop, one of the best TTRPG talk shows on God's green earth, given to us from the heavens to bless and multiply your crops. Nick's super smart, super funny. He's been on the show a few times. He was in our last mini-series, so at this point, I feel like I vouch for him a lot, and you should just be listening to Tabletop. And now, without further ado, the rest of part 1 of Bunnies and Burrows. Maya and Clumsypaws, you are left to your own devices. What do you do?
The language of man.
I'm also interested in this.
Maya pulls out a second blue mushroom and hands one to Clumsypaws.
Oh, no, I don't touch the stuff.
And immediately takes one. Covers her eyes, pulls the bandana over her eyes, and just starts running her hands up and down the stick.
I will tell you the stick is in Well-Dressed's den still.
Oh, are we not there?
You're in the center of town, so kind of out in the open.
I thought that's where
okay.
I dropped it.
You did. You dropped the stick in his office. They the good, the bad, and the ugly in the center, in between the office and the empath office.
So it's not. It's over by him, visible to him. We couldn't go look at it.
Yeah. So Well-Dressed and Clary went back to Well-Dressed office. His office is open. So if you two were we want to look at the fucking stick, nothing's stopping you.
Okay.
But he will see us looking at the stick.
Tell you what, let's make I'm gonna make an intelligence roll on him. See how his situational awareness is right now, because at the moment he's a little concerned about the questions and beliefs his second in command just said. And I rolled a 1. Do whatever you want.
Cool. All right, so we're there in front of it, and so she starts putting her paws, and then she kind of lifts up the bandana.
Cool.
You don't want to partake?
I was thinking I was gonna scratch what I see here into a leaf. I could take the leaf with me and find someone who could read it. But I mean, like I said, I got all sorts of sleepy time stuff if you want to take a quick nap right now and see what you see.
That's genius. We should have hooked up sooner.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you're hanging out with Clary so much. I don't know what you see in her, to be honest.
So an induced sleep is in your future here, Maya. And while you two arrange that, we cut to Clary and Well-Dressed, kind of in a quieter corner of his den. A second little hole he's carved out for himself for more private meetings. And he said, "Now, Clary, I told you if you were having doubts about something to talk to me first, right?"
Well, I wasn't having doubts per se. It's just curiosity just kind of came up in the moment. I did ask you. I did ask you.
That's true. We talked this morning. I've seen a fascination in you with the individual.
Yeah.
Is there something driving that?
Well, I think that we can't have the group without the individual. So, isn't the individual important too?
Yes, but can one have the individual outside of the group? When our gifts are given to us to help and aid and abet, having our own personal tweaks and spins of things that make us us are important, yes, but in so much that they serve the community.
Yeah, I guess. I guess.
I came from a place that was focused on the individual. A lot of self-serving rabbits there. Very intent on doing what solely made them happy, and that was fine for a little while. And then things got out of hand and unruly. When people are focused so intently on what makes them them, they can lose sight of what makes us us. And that's why I wanted to leave. I saw the truth. I understood what the forest gods were trying to tell me. And that's why we have this wonderful warren now, where we have a great community, where everyone knows each other and helps each other, no questions asked, even Dayspring. So I worry, Clary, when you're focusing so intently on, like, well, what about the individual's happiness? That starts out fine, but the end result is not pleasant. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. Have you ever met the forest gods?
No, I have not met them. They oversee the forest. They keep it safe, but they're not for us to witness. Maybe one day, after we've moved on and they welcome us into their domain, into the farm, but not here. Not for us to see here.
They must be so lonely.
Well, they have all those other animals that come after they've fulfilled their duties. They're here for us, Clary. They live for us, as we live for them. Remember, one day you'll be overseeing this warren. I can't do this forever. It's my hope that when it's time for me to move on, you'll be ready. And I need to know that you can do this. So I want for you tonight, as you prepare for sleep, to think about everything we've talked about, especially today with the individual. And I want you to seek out the wisdom of the gods. You're under Zephyr like I am.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I think the thing that I really like most about being a storyteller is that we get to look for the stories. And maybe that's not what you wanted to teach me, but I'm glad you did.
I think there's wisdom in that. I hope you find the stories that are right for the warren. You're good. You're a good rabbit. This isn't to reprimand you. This is coming from a place of concern. Because I want you to do the very best you can do. And I know you can.
Okay.
Go get some rest.
Got it.
Thank you.
And you hear a thump from the front of the office.
Now, what is going on out there?
As Maya falls asleep against the wood.
Well-dressed, like, comes out of the little hovel he was in with Clary. He's like, what are you doing with the seer?
Asking me?
Yeah, you're the only one here, Clumsypaws.
She said she didn't feel so good, so I thought I'd like bring her here where I could like lean her up against this thing, you know.
Against the pole that the mysterious rabbit with the false doctrine. Get her to the empath office as she passed out.
I mean, she's. I didn't want to like move her, you know. Sometimes if you like move someone who's hurt, they could get hurt worse.
I understand, but she's the seer. If she's asleep, that means she's going to be prone to visions. So I'd prefer if the visions she was prone to weren't next to the blasphemy pole.
Why are you saying that, man? Like, what does it say? Why is it blasphemy?
I haven't read it. I mean,
did you read it? Like, is he like telling the truth? Like, you know what this gobbledygook says?
It only has a name on it.
Oh, okay.
It's meant to lure me. Okay.
Is it your name?
No, it's not my name.
Oh, whose name is it?
It's not a person's name. It's a place's name. It's the old place we came from.
Does it say the farm on there, or does it say something else?
Clumsypaws, I love you as a member of this war, and you are valuable to all of us.
Yeah.
My friend, do not need to know this particular information to do your job well.
I mean, that's true, but like, if it's just like some random place that I'm never gonna go to, you know, why not just tell me what it says? Just a name, right?
Make a charisma roll.
Boy, I'm not. Oh, that's a 6 on the die. That's a 7, baby.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So,
look, I'm never gonna leave. Like, what, you know?
It says Alligary.
Ligary?
Alligary.
Alligary. Al Ligary? Like the guy's name is Al?
I would spell it for you, but we don't have the letters and language that man does.
Yeah. I get it. Okay, cool.
It's a name. It's a name that only means something to me.
Interesting. How do you think he got it all the way here without getting eaten, you know?
I don't know. The forest is dangerous, and Dayspring isn't exactly the most athletic rabbit ever.
I mean, he did carry this thing. This thing's heavy. Who you trying to pick it up? It's so heavy.
I haven't. I intend to have the fighters handle that later and just dispose of it.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I mean, you can make, like, a cool chair out of it or something. Anyway, I'll just, like, right here with,
Clumsypaws, can you please take Maya to the empath den?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Thank you.
I'm gonna like go over and like start fumbling, like looking over my shoulder to see if he's gonna leave or like if he's gonna watch me pick her up.
He's just watching you the whole time, just like staring at you, like, come on.
Yep, picking her up. Yep. Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Going to say that time passes and evening falls. We go to Scout.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very patiently waiting my turn.
Scout, you are guarding Dayspring, who's been wide awake this whole time, and he kind of just like saunters up to the door as the sun sets and the moon starts to come up, and he's just like, you've been very quiet.
I've been thinking. That's what I do.
About what?
I have a lot of questions, and I do not know how to ask them properly, so I will think. I will just think for a while.
What do you want?
I want to know things. It bothers me when I don't know things, and you have given me a lot of things that I do not know.
I do happen to know a lot of things about what's outside of this warren.
Okay, how do all paths lead to the farm? That doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
Great question. The forest is large.
Yes.
It's a large forest with many winding paths. There's probably a part of the forest Well-Dressed tells you to avoid, if I'm right.
Of course.
I'll give you this one, Jenny. So as a scout, you're allowed to go partially into the forest, but there is a clear boundary you're not meant to cross.
Correct.
You are only allowed to go in, get berries, get supplies, escort people, and get out.
Mm-hmm. Usual job stuff.
Mm-hmm. So you probably haven't seen the many paths.
We walk the entrance of the forest, we do our job, we get berries, we get twigs, mud, dirt, things that we need to do things around here. No, we're not allowed to go past the barrier.
Forest is large and wide and has several different places you can go within it. There's rivers, magnificent trees, several different kinds of animals. But at the edge of all of those different paths, the farm is larger. It's wide and expansive to the point that no matter how far you stray into the forest, as long as you're heading north, you'll get there.
North. How long does it take to get there? How long did you travel?
It's a day's journey, if
One
you're
day.
willing to not stop.
Okay. Why tell us this now?
I have been waiting patiently for a certain energy to return to the farm. I felt it recently, and I knew the time was at hand to bring in more rabbits. And who better to do that than the best storyteller I've ever met? Well dressed for his flaws and his manipulations, is a very talented gatherer of rabbits.
If the farm is a real place, does that mean the gods are fake?
I don't know about you, but I've never seen them. I've never had to worry about the wills of other animals or gods. I've only worried about what makes Dayspring happy.
Then what do you think happens when we die?
I don't concern myself with it. I think we just cease to be, Scout. That might not be the thing you want to hear, but if you live a life worth living now, then what does it matter what happens after? Maybe Well-Dress is right. Maybe you go to an even bigger farm. He seems to have the pulse on what's happening with that, right? But as for me and mine and my house, I'll do what feels right in the moment.
You said a name. Who is Oyaris?
Oh, well, that's probably not my place to say to a stranger, but it's another rabbit. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Okay, you've given me a lot to think about.
Scout, you don't strike me as someone who's overly concerned with gods and worship.
It does puzzle me a little bit why the stories from different storytellers are different.
Isn't that
Why-
something?
Why would it not be consistent? Why would it not make sense?
The thing with storytellers, and I count myself among them, is deep down we're all kind of self-serving. Deep down we all kind of want our versions of events, our tales, to be the ones that last, right? Well-Dressed had a certain ideal he wanted to have get across, and so help him he did it. You've got a great war in here. I have my own agenda. Storytellers all do this. Whether we want our version of events to be true, whether we want to be beloved, whether we want to be left alone, whether we simply wish to entertain. Ultimately, we all want something. Ultimately, we want our version of events to be true, and your particular storyteller had a philosophy he believed in so strong that he left paradise to exert his will on others.
I, from what I can tell, think that he wants others to be happy, and that is noble. I think you want the same thing, but a different way.
Are you happy, though? Are you doing what you want to be doing? Is this what you dreamed of for your life when you were a kid?
I am good at my job. Is that not enough?
Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you want to do it. Now, if you'll excuse me, this has been a riveting conversation, but I have been walking all day.
Yeah, of course, I'm sorry to have kept you.
Not your fault. I'll be here for a couple of days if you want to talk more. And he just kind of like saunters back.
I just kind of lean against the door, just my little paws just like tapping together just over my little mouth, just thinking.
And the sun goes down on Mount Olive. And Zoop, starting with you. The sleeping medicine you were given, as well as the mushroom you ate, seem to be working in tandem, so who knows if this is a true vision or a drug-induced coma. But you do feel the familiar glow of a light bug between your eyes again.
You're back.
Glows affirmatively.
There are questions in the Warren. Can you help?
The light bug does the same thing it did last night. Plucks your little rabbit soul out of your body and flies you over everything, my neighbor Totoro style, and gets you to the edge of the forest. And a very similar vision to the one you had before starts to happen, but things are a little bit different. You can actually see in the forest now. It's not a big dark wall like it usually is in your dreams. You can see more trees. They're bright green. It's the time of year when the trees are the greenest. You can see and hear other animal sounds. And this time, coming into the forest, is a different rabbit with a crown of flowers around its face, like a lion's mane, heading into the forest.
Wait, take me with you.
You are taken back into your den. You wake up in the middle of the night. The morning has not come yet.
Would I have like just put her in the empath's office, or would I have just like taken her home? I don't know what
At this point, she probably would have returned home.
All right, cool.
And I say that because in the empath's office, kind of nearby in your den, Clumsypaws, you're fast asleep, and you hear a slight scratching outside of your door.
Who's there?
The clawing continues.
Does it sound like someone's digging, or someone's trying to get my attention?
You know, like when a dog wants to go out?
So go investigate. I don't know. Figure out what's going on.
It's not going to be too hard to see what's going on. When you poke your head out to see what's happening, you see the large visage of a glowing, like star-bright shape of a bear.
Whoa. I'll probably like grab hold of my little necklace around my neck that I think is a bear claw, right?
Yeah.
And just be like, I don't know, probably stunned. I don't know. Probably wouldn't do anything. Probably just sit there.
The bear bows its head down to you, puts itself at your level.
I guess I bow as well, because I'm not sure if it's formality or if it's coming to talk to me or what. Just yeah. Well, Yuka, your glowiness. Whoa.
The bear kind of shows you its teeth, like it's smiling at you, nothing menacing. And he reaches out his paw and scoops you up and puts you on his back.
Whoa, where are we going?
Yuka, the bear, is galloping through the warren. He's like running through people's homes, but nothing's happening to them. They are undamaged.
So like people aren't waking up or anything? No one sees this going on?
No one's waking up. It feels like a dream almost. He starts galloping through the meadow, is blitzing towards the woods. You are now in the woods atop Yucca. The bear, you see the winding paths that were talked about. He takes one of them, and he stops in front of a river. And what you see, Clumsypaws, is a family of bears. Not looking like Yucca. These are like brown bears. And they all seem to be drinking from the river.
Oh, real bears. I mean, I'm like on a bear, but I don't think this is like a bear that's alive.
The bear you were atop of growls affirmatively. Yes, real bears. You feel like the thought comes to your head.
Why are you showing me this? What does this have to do with me and what's going on in the warren?
The bear kind of turns his head to face his back, looking right at you, not unlike an owl, and
not creepy, right?
It's a god, and you feel a thought come to your mind, and it's like you needed to know.
I needed to know. Bears are real.
You wake up back in your house.
I probably feel like I'm about to fall since I was on a bear's back, right? Like, whoa! Catch myself a little bit. Oh, I don't think I took Maya's mushrooms, but I had something weird going on. Hey, cool. What do I do with this information?
As you ponder, Scout, you are relieved of your duties. A rabbit named Rex Angora comes up to you and says, "You are you're good to go to sleep, Scout. I'm gonna do the night shift for this guy."
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything weird about him? Should I know anything?
He's asleep. He has been sleeping for a while. If he talks to you, he will probably say things that make sense but don't.
Cool. Easy berries, it sounds like. Alright, good night.
Good night.
I would like to, instead of going straight back to go to sleep, I would like to wait and watch for this change and try to sneak in and talk to this rabbit.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. So, I will say though, you are waiting for the changing of the guards. It's there's not really a gap in between. So you're gonna just see Rex take over for Scout and then Scout walk away.
It's more of a case of, I think that I know that Scout has already kind of seen a little bit too much of my curiosity. And I don't want to get told on.
Fair. Does Scout have tattletale vibes? Well, who knows? So, you will see that happen. And I will come back to you in 1 sec. So we all know that's happening. Scout.
Yeah.
What happens when you get home?
I would imagine she gets home kind of late. Because you said it's already nighttime at the time.
It is nighttime in the Warren, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So her family are probably all good little boys and girls and go to bed when they are told to, because, they're always super faithful about the things that the storytellers say, and, you gotta do your job and be faithful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she would probably get home and no one would be up, I think. What she would do for the next hour, I guess, is if the memory is still fresh in her mind, she would want to try to carve the letters of the big stick onto her stick, her little walking stick that she has.
Ooh, make an intelligence check.
Okay. How about an 8, Chief?
You are able to replicate it perfectly, and when you do, hear a honking outside of your hovel.
She just kind of does that thing, rabbits perk up, her ears are straight up, she sniffs the air a little. Hello?
Second honk, like a goose honk.
She's gonna do something that she hasn't done in several times. in her career as a scout, she's gonna break curfew.
Oh. Then you exit the den.
Mm-hmm.
You see the visage of a glowing white goose.
She's just kind of wide-eyed at this point. Not bushy-tailed, though.
The goose extends its wings and flaps and starts flying in front of you. The goose chomps at your neckerchief and starts flying off into the woods with you like just hanging on.
Oh boy.
You are getting the fast track over the woods. You're not going through them, you are flying above the trees. So all you get to see are the tops of trees, little birds flying out of them. A V formation of other regular geese start flying alongside Answer as it takes you all the way to a large, spacious, gigantic building and plops you right in front of it. And what you see are several fence posts, all saying the same phrase from the one Dayspring bought.
I just kind of like look at my stick and I look at the walls, just like confirming that's what I'm seeing. Like, okay.
Goose stands next to you.
I kind of recognize that this is Answer, right? Like, this is like...
Yeah, this is Answer, yeah.
Gotcha. Like, why show me this? I am not a seer.
Answer honks.
She just she recoils, like her ears go back, just like... I did not understand you, but thank you.
Once again.
Stop. I can't understand you, please. You are very loud, and I am very small.
As you are finishing confirming that the two things say the same thing, you wake up on the floor of your living room, essentially. You fell asleep while you were carving the stick.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Brings me to Clary.
Yes.
You are walking up to the den that Dayspring is being kept in. Fortunately for you, the guard that's over him, Rex Angora, he's a fighter, not a scout. He's not built to stay awake. He is falling asleep on the little walking stick that he was holding.
Mhm.
So you're able to just walk right up to the door.
Hello. Dayspring. You awake?
Hi. He just comes right up to the door. Hi there.
I have a question.
Of course.
Have you ever met the forest gods?
No. I've never seen them or heard of them.
Darn it. Thought maybe.
Clary, right? That's what he called you?
Yes, Clary.
And I don't know what he's been telling you specifically. I can kind of sense a closeness there. But I just want to tell you that neither me or him or any rabbit has seen the forest gods. And that's strange to me.
I'm going to meet them. I'm going to find them and meet them.
Sincerely, I hope you do. Because that would be world-changing information.
You're not lying to me, are you?
No.
Are you? Sometimes Welly is a bit patronizing.
Oh, and I know it.
A lot of the older rabbits are.
Kind of stuck in their ways, right? Very adamant about their way being correct.
Well, sort of. I wonder if maybe they forgot what stories are about.
What are stories about to you?
I think they're about the magic of it all. Like the not knowing and the knowing and the looking.
Wow. It has been some time since I've met a storyteller rabbit, young as you are, who is interested in stories for story's sake. Kind of refreshing. Clary, I sincerely hope for your sake and your sake alone that those forest gods are real. I don't think they are. But I do think you should be allowed to do whatever you want, and believe whatever you want, and pursue whatever you want. That should be the real goal of your life. To leave everything on the field.
Go looking.
Go looking.
Well, good night.
Good night.
And Clary just bounds out of there.
Yeah, Dayspring turns to the sleeping Rex and goes, "Oh, I see they didn't teach her how to end a conversation."
No.
Clary, as you are bounding home, you are stopped by something. You see what looks like a rabbit, but not a rabbit you've seen in the Warren, and not Dayspring either.
Hello?
The rabbit raises up its left paw and just waves at you.
I raise up my paw, mirroring it.
This one gallops closer to you, and as you get a better look at it, you recognize that it doesn't really have facial features per se. You know, it doesn't have the uniqueness and the life lived on its fur like other rabbits do. It barely even has pupils, and it's glowing a bright color. And it says to you, "Do you wish to see the rabbits?"
We're rabbits, but yes.
It extends its paw to you.
I take it.
You are warped to a location you do not recognize. There doesn't seem to be a big meadow that you're used to. There seems to be a giant building in the background, but mostly you're seeing different patches of different kinds of topography. There's an area full of rabbits you don't recognize, of all different shapes and colors and sizes, and they're all just kind of doing their own thing. There doesn't seem to be anyone working about the area. You see a storyteller rabbit just kind of talking to a few other ones, not in front of them, not preaching to them, just talking in a circle together, and they all seem to be bouncing ideas off of one another. You see other rabbits running and playing and not having to worry about what they're going to do that day. You see a rabbit who's hurt, who's just kind of dealing with it, taking care of its own paw, and then gets up and continues to run and play and do all sorts of kind of stuff. You just see a fully individually actualized colony of rabbits. And the glowing rabbit is standing next to you and goes, "Here's the rabbits."
They're like us, but not.
Different rabbits. All rabbits are different.
Is this a farm?
The minute you get to the farm, you wake up in your own den.
Well, that was a weird dream.
The sun comes up on the Warren. And standing, pretty much everything goes about as it normally would. The other rabbits in the colony go about their usual business. But the four of you, something feels different about today. And it all seemed to involve the woods.
I want to get up and do my job. More than I've ever wanted to do my job ever.
Scout, you were standing watch on the outer rim of Mount Olive.
Are there whisperings around the Warren? Has this caused a big ripple? Does it seem like rabbits are actually considering this? Or is it everyone's kind of doing their thing? You know? How quickly is this news spread?
You can make an intelligence check and get the vibe.
Ah, yes. 6. Cool. I roll high on the ones that I'm bad at. Yeah.
Hey, you are getting kind of a sense that, people aren't so concerned. They're going to stop doing what they're doing. But as you kind of make your way to the various things you have to do that day, you might hear something like, "So he came from a farm? I don't get that part. Well-dressed as a zombie?" I was I don't think he's a zombie. I just think there's other Warrens and maybe they call it the farm. You hear another rabbit who's just genuinely ticked off, being "I can't believe we've been lied to the whole time. This other rabbit comes in and now we have to do what Well-dressed is telling us to do. I just don't understand that." Most notably, you see Hazel talking to a small little collection of rabbits, and it just starts saying, "This is how it starts. Someone comes in and starts saying something different. We just have to stay steady, or we're gonna tear ourselves apart."
I'm gonna go listen more to what Hazel has to say for sure.
Yeah, Hazel is talking to a small cluster of other rabbits, and it's just saying like a similar thing happened in my warren. We were all doing really well, and then
Did you kind of do things like this, like
what?
you know about the forest gods?
No, we did a different thing where I was from. It was more we were more concerned with just surviving. We were under a lot of threats and attacks, but it worked for us. But it really only takes one person losing faith in what you're trying to do to ruin everything, and then, well, I'm the only one who made it out of my warren.
So do you believe in the forest gods now, since we're doing better than your warren did?
Absolutely.
I mean, respectfully.
Absolutely. Clumsypaws, I came from a place of war and bloodshed. And foxes and wolves and coyotes. Here is so much better. The forest gods, for whatever reason, blessed this place.
Cool, yeah. Alright, well, see you later, Hazel. See ya, everybody.
They all wave, "Bye, Clumsypaws!" Where are you heading to?
Oh, probably just my office again. I got a lot to think about.
Sure.
Here's,
The rabbit with the flowers. What did the rabbit look like?
Yeah, this will be your very Peter Cottontail style rabbit. Kind of a tannish beige color, and it has a mane of pink flowers, like a carnation crown kind of deal all around its face, and it had feminine features. And that was about what you could glean from that rabbit.
And it's not a rabbit that I've seen before.
Oh, different rabbit. I've never seen this one.
And it went into the forest.
Mm-hmm.
So I've discovered nothing about the stick.
You can make a mysticism roll, though.
Okay. All right. That is an 8.
Your seer sense tells you that Scout and Clumsypaws, and as a matter of fact, Clary, all learned a different thing about what Dayspring was telling you, including what's on that pole.
So I think that Maya is going to listen to her sixth sense and visit the other 3.
Cool.
And I think that she will start by popping into the empath's den.
Ooh, you see Clumsypaws there trying to unpack his eventful evening.
Hi, Clumsypaw. You look like you've got something on your mind.
Yeah, didn't get a lot of sleep, to be honest. I'm gonna lean in closer so that no one else can hear what I'm saying, even though we're in my office, I'm assuming. Listen, I know you're new to the seer thing and all, but have you ever heard of there being 2 seers before? 'Cause I think I might be one. I mean, I didn't take your mushrooms or anything, but saw some things.
Sure you didn't? Because I'm definitely short on a mushroom.
I mean, I don't remember taking it, because I was standing over your body while Well Dressed was grilling me about like why we were there, and I had to make up some excuses and get us out of there.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll admit,
so
I did not figure out what the walking stick said.
okay, yeah, cool. Well, that's too bad, I guess. It's
Um,
okay. Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure I saw a vision too. So yeah.
well, I mean, I'm new to seership, but
Uh-huh.
I think part of my job is to help other people, other rabbits. I think
Yeah.
part of my job is to help other rabbits make sense of what the forest gods tell them.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, Yuka, big fan of Yuka. I'm pretty sure that Yuka visited me last night and showed me where the bears live in the woods. I kind of mentioned this a few times to some people, but I don't know if they know Yuka or they like told Yuka to tell me. But I've always wanted to see a bear in real life and like ask them if Yuka's real, like do they know who Yuka is? Because then that would be like, that would tell me that the Yuka is real, right? So Yuka like showed me last night where the bears live, so I could go ask them if Yuka's real. But I feel like I might have already answered my own question. Yeah, can you do anything with that?
Do the bears also live in the warren?
This one?
Yeah, where did you see the bears?
Oh, they were in the woods, like where we're not supposed to go.
So Yuka took you to the woods.
Yeah, like I rode on Yuka's back. It was wild.
You can make a mysticism check there, Maya.
I would like to make a mysticism check. All right, that is a 7.
Pretty good. So with that level of a success there, you can. I would say that you are comfortable sharing your vision with Clumsypaws.
Maya kind of sits Clumsypaws down and kind of sits down too and takes his paws into hers and reads them for a minute and then looks up and says, I think Yuka is calling you to the woods.
Oh, see, that's kind of what I was thinking, but like, not supposed to go in the woods. I'm really confused. I'm gonna be honest. Like one guy's saying, the gods aren't real, and then Well-Dressed is saying they are. And like I feel like I saw them, but like why would they tell us to break the rules of the guy who says that they're real and he's got our best interests in mind? It's like all this dissonance.
Well, I think that nobody has all the answers.
It would be nice if there was like one person who did though, like could just ask him everything.
What if there
Anyway.
were 4 people that did?
You mean like the forest gods?
Or I feel like perhaps I think that the woods are calling to you, but I don't think that you should go alone.
Oh no, I mean, like I'm pretty big and all, but like I wouldn't go in. I mean, you're not supposed to go in there without like a scout and a fighter, right? That's the rules.
So wait for my signal.
Oh, are we doing something covert? Okay.
Okay.
What's your signal gonna be?
The lunchtime bell.
Okay, yeah, that's my favorite bell. I'll be honest. Yeah.
It's mine too.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay,
Here,
I will
keep
sit
this
tight on my
mushroom.
paws.
Don't eat it though. Just
Are you sure?
hold
Like,
on to
is
it.
this okay? Yeah, all right. I'll just stash it somewhere. Cool.
Yeah, I trust your ability to not eat it.
Where are you going now?
Where the visions take me.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh man, I feel like I'm learning so much about seers. All right.
I will head to looking for well dressed, and I'm looking for Clary, and I'm waiting to see the two of them be in two separate places.
Luckily for you, they probably are. So today, well dressed is kind of talking to the fighters in particular, kind of giving them some further instruction on the nature of Dayspring and to be on high alert. And given his conversation with Clary the other day, I don't think he brought her along for that sermon.
Okay. So, Clary, what are you doing?
I think that Clary is sitting on the outskirts of the Warren, pretty much as far as they're supposed to go. Just kind of looking out into the woods.
And Clary feels two paws cover her eyes.
Hello?
What do you see?
I see stars. Did you know that sometimes if you close your eyes, it looks like you're looking at stars?
And where are the stars taking you?
Well, I went with a rabbit to the farm last night. I think it was the farm anyway.
Where was the farm?
Well, we kind of just poof there, so I'm not sure exactly where. If Dayspring was telling the truth, then it'd be easy to find.
Through the woods?
Yeah.
So we're in agreement.
Yes.
I'll see you at the lunch bell. And, Scout is by the entrance to the forest.
Yeah, Scout's already watching the forest very intently. For the record, it's not Scout's turn to be there. Other Scouts keep trying to dismiss her, and she's just being like, I'm watching the forest today.
Just something I gotta do today. I'm sorry. Look.
We have a schedule.
I know it's the schedule. Look, I just need to get some berries for my mom. It won't be very long, okay?
Maverick
it's my turn.
Usually do that.
It's my turn.
Yep.
Yes.
Scout.
Yes?
Scout offered to take me into the woods to get some berries.
Yes. I very much did this thing. Yes.
It's seer business.
Seer business.
They raise their paws like, that's the thing for me to do. I'm out of here.
We'll take 2 steps into the woods, still in the appropriate area.
You are being escorted into the woods. So at the very entrance to the woods, you're going to see bushes full of berries. There's an assortment of good-looking sticks you can pick up. Trees tend to release good, full, clean leaves in this part of the woods. So very nice little... if you were going through a walk in the woods, this would be like the nicest part of the woods to walk through, you know?
So, let's pick some berries. And... Scout, what do you think about a lunchtime picnic in the woods?
I feel like it would have an ulterior motive of some kind.
So we're on the same page.
I feel like there are many pages in this book, many of which I can't read. And I would like to know more, but I need help figuring it out.
And Maya will put a paw on Scout's paw. We'll read the book together.
I don't like asking others for help, but you covered for me, I will cover for you. What do you need me to do?
Well, you're not asking me for help. I'm asking you for help.
Good, then we are on the same page.
Awesome. I'll see you at lunch for a rendezvous.
Okay. Lunch, yes.
You four, for making this decision together, can all take 1 advancement point. And for following the gods when they invited you out, you may all have a 2nd advancement point.
Let's go.
And the day continues, all of you anxiously awaiting the lunch bell. Well-dressed has been making his rounds to everyone, trying to make sure everyone's okay. But there's only so much ground he can cover in a couple of hours. He's, an older rabbit. Eventually, that lunch bell does go off. Everyone flies from their jobs, they meet in the center, they eat their berries, they eat their leaves, and everyone is very distracted and doesn't notice as the seer, storyteller, an empath, and the scout stand in one line at the edge of the forest. He is misguided. He's a heretic. He has very frequently not heretic.
H-A-R-E, yeah.
I can't believe I wrote this whole fucking thing and didn't think about that pun.